Work out, so once you do some sort of calculation, work out the value of that. Give your answer as a fraction, and again, it wants it in simplest form. If the question doesn't say in simplest form, I would suggest, as a matter of course, simplifying fractions where possible. So, this is a skill that you either remember from earlier in school, or you've completely forgotten. Adding, subtracting, timesing, and dividing fractions. When you multiply a fraction, the rule is you multiply the numerator, you multiply the denominator. 2 3s are 6, 3 4s are 12. That's not in its simplest form. They are all even numbers, so as a bare minimum, you could half it. Some of us would see that 6s go into both. So in its simplest form, it is 1/2. So remembering, writing down exactly what I'm writing down in the format I'm writing it, and then adding any notes where you see fit. So as a minimum, it should look like mine, hopefully but neater. As a maximum, you should have notes on it. 1 mark for doing the multiplication, 1 mark for simplest possible fraction. Again, we've got to work out the value, but this time we are adding it. It wants it as a fraction, it wants it in the simplest form. Most common wrong answer when adding fractions is to add the numerator and add the denominator. That is completely wrong. First off, we have mixed numbers. So let's change them into improper fractions. So, 1 whole one is worth 3/3. Plus the 2/3 means that we've got 5/3. 2 whole ones, when in quarters, 2 lots of quarters are worth 8. Plus 3 means we've got 11 quarters. So we've now got them into fractions, although they're improper, that's fine for now. We can't add them yet because they have different denominators. So I need to try and find a lowest common denominator. It's not always the case that you multiply those, but in this case it is. 3 times table, 3, 6, 9, 12. 4 times table, 4, 8, 12. The lowest number they both go into, the lowest common multiple, is 12. To get that fraction, to get that 3 into 12, we had to multiply the 3 by 4. So we have to multiply the 5 by 4 to keep it equivalent. To get this fraction, the 4 into 12, we had to multiply it by 3. So I have to do the same to the numerator to keep it equivalent. 11 3s are 33. I can add them now because they're in 12s, they're the same size pieces. Remember, the denominator is how big the pieces are. You cut a pizza into 12, it's different size pieces than if you cut it into 2. The numerator is how many of those pieces you have. So I've got 20 plus 33. I've got 53 twelfths, but that's not in its simplest form. Go up in your 12 times table. 12, 24, 36, 48. Can't get to 60. So I've got 4 whole ones to get to 48. And 5 twelfths. I know I can't simplify the 5 twelfths because 5 is a prime number. So that was worth 3 marks. 1 mark for simplifying, 1 mark for adding them, 1 mark for changing to some form of common denominator. If you change to another common denominator, which wasn't the lowest, for example, you could have done this with 24ths or 36ths, it will still be correct. You'll just have more simplifying to do at the end.